Here.
Trustee Marisak.
Here.
Trustee Brzoska.
Thank you. President Brawley is unavailable this evening. However, we have 5 of us here, and we have a quorum, so we will continue. Right, Doug's, you were making me question myself. All right, our first order of business is the public participation. Is there any member of the public that would like to make a public, a comment to the board, address the board? Anyone? Anyone online? Anything submitted?
No.
Okay, very good. Moving on to the consent agenda, I will go ahead and read the items and then entertain a motion for approval. We have the minutes of the May 27, 2025 Village Board meeting, accounts payable summary report through June 9, 2025 in the amount of $2,094,021.02, the water production report for May 2025, community development report for May 2025, Ordinance 2134, annexing property, Spartan Athletic Club. Ordinance 2135, amending special use for a planned unit development that is regarding the Spartan Athletic Park. Ordinance 2131, annexing property that is BAP Power LLC, doing business as Synergy Power. And finally, Ordinance 2132, rezoning property and granting a special use and variation, Spencer and Oakland Streets, BAP Power LLC, doing business as Synergy Power.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Brzoska, second by Youngerman. Take the roll, please.
Trustee Brzoska.
Yes.
Trustee Guyer.
Yes.
Trustee Spurling.
Yes.
Trustee Youngerman.
Yes.
Trustee Marisak.
Yes.
That carries. Thank you very much. Moving on to items for separate action. Our first item is Resolution 2025-016, granting a fee in lieu of tree replacement regarding R&L Carriers 2100 Rochester Drive. Director Apt.
Yes, thank you, Trustee Spurling. So we have our first fee in lieu request since we adopted the UDO. So R&L Carriers finally turned in their final landscape plan, was reviewed, and it was determined they needed 100 replacement trees. They are only able to accommodate 22 additional trees on the site due to kind of existing conditions, et cetera, on there. Replacement trees are in addition to the trees that are required per the landscape ordinance for like screening, buffer yards, parking lot landscaping. So this is in addition to that to replace the existing trees on the site that are being removed. With that being said, that means there's 78 remaining trees that they are not able to provide a replacement for, so they are requesting the fee in lieu. We established our fee in consultation with the village arborist at $350 per tree. Back after we adopted the Unified Development Ordinance. So they are requesting that fee in lieu for $27,300 as credit for those 78 trees. And the resolution before you would codify that, and then they would be able to make the payment when they're ready for permit.
I'm sorry, for when they're ready for what?
Building permit?
Okay, thank you. Any questions, comments for Director Apt?
Now, and this money goes into the replacement tree fund, not the general fund?
It goes into a specific account, so I don't know if it's under the general fund or not, but it is in a specific account just for tree fee in lieu for Parkway tree or other tree projects.
Okay, perfect. Motion to approve. Second.
Moved by Guyer, second by Brzoska. Take the roll, please.
Trustee Guyer.
Yes.
Trustee Spurling.
Yes.
Trustee Youngerman.
Yes.
Trustee Marisak.
Yes.
Trustee Brzoska.
Yes.
Carries 5-0, thank you. Moving on to item B, Resolution 2025-017, authorizing a mobile food facility license, CC Sprinkles. Director Apt.
Yes, so we have a resolution before you that would add CC Sprinkles to our list of mobile food facilities authorized to operate within the village. Ms. Bonaparte has requested a temporary use permit to operate her ice cream bicycle business in Seasons Ridge subdivision this summer. However, her business does not clearly fit into our UDO's definition and regulations for a mobile food facility. So we are actually bringing this before you for the village board for further consideration. And if you are comfortable with it, then you have the resolution before you to add her as a licensed vendor for this year with specific conditions. So this would allow her to operate, provided that the license be issued to her specifically, that she'd be limited to Thursday nights only in the Seasons Ridge subdivision, and it would only go through Labor Day, and that she would be required to provide the appropriate insurance.
Did I see a time frame on here too?
So once we're able to issue the permit through Labor Day is when it would be.
No, I meant an operating time of, on Thursdays.
Hours of operation?
Yes, thank you. Did I see that or no?
No.
Okay.
We can certainly add
Is
that
this-
if that's
is
the
this
plan.
Would you mind coming up, please? Yes? Yeah, just, well, in front of the microphone so that we can pick you up on the microphone.
I don't have a specific time. If you want me to give you one, I could, but I would just say like early evening, one lap through the neighborhood.
Okay. I'm just curious, Thursday nights, just one night?
Yeah, because I don't want people, I really enjoy doing this, and this is my second year with my ice cream bike. I've done a few events in Montgomery, and I don't want people to feel like I'm a nuisance coming around every night. I'd rather people look forward to like, oh, Cece comes around Thursday nights.
Okay. I live in that neighborhood, so I
And that's
understand.
what I think my husband said this week an ice cream truck did come through, but I don't think we have like a regular one that comes around.
I don't think so. And I was actually going to ask about ice cream trucks. Do they have to be licensed with us to come through?
Technically, yes.
Okay, just curious. All right, any other questions for the petitioner?
I do have a question related to the health department thing, because I know like at the fest, all of the vendors have to have a Kane County Health Department, although she's in Kendall. I don't know what the limitations are with Kendall.
So she would have to get her Kendall County license if she's going to operate in Seasons Ridge. So she would work with their health department on getting the certificate that she needs.
Okay.
She was at last year's Car Fest and pretty well received, so. Good plug there for her.
And I think you were at the Public Works ribbon cutting.
Anything else?
No?
Do you have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
You saw who did it, so I'm not even going to say, go ahead and take the roll, please.
Trustee Brzezka.
Yes.
Trustee Guyer.
Yes.
Trustee Spurling.
Yes.
Trustee Youngerman.
Yes.
Trustee Marisak.
Yes.
All right, that carries 5-0.
Thank you.
I'll look for you on Thursday evenings. All right, moving on to the next, actually, the next two items are related. First one is the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission on PZC 2025-010 Water Well Solutions of Illinois, 300 North Lake Street. Director Apt.
Pardon me. Yes, so Water Well Solutions of Illinois is looking to purchase 300 North Lake Street, so they've submitted their application for some zoning relief. So they are requesting a special use in order to have outdoor storage, and that would be for some of their trucks, trailers, and as well as materials, specifically piping on the site. So they're requesting that special use for outdoor storage with the use of alternative surfaces. There is an area between the fence and the building that's currently not paved, but they would like to gravel where they would store the pipes. So they are also requesting for the alternative surfaces as part of their special use request. They are also going to need a couple of variations, primarily due to the outdoor storage request. So given the shape of the lot, where they could store materials is primarily in the side yard. However, it does encroach slightly into the front yard. So they do require a variance for the outdoor storage to be in the front yard. The ordinance only allows it in the side or rear yards. Additionally, they're requesting relief from the fencing and landscaping requirements. So they would be fencing around the area from the garage, around the front of it, connecting to the building, but they're asking relief from having to fence that back part along the west side of the outdoor storage area where they share the property line with Public Works. And then they are requesting relief from the perimeter landscaping requirement that there is along that fence, where the fencing would be required to be. So they would only be providing the screening along Lake Street to screen it and meet the intent of the ordinance for that. So they would be meeting that requirement and providing the berming, et cetera, that's required for areas that are visible from the street. The other variance they do require is for the alternative surfaces, because it is technically within 250 feet of the front property line, the street right-of-way. they don't have direct access from there onto Lake Street, so there wouldn't be a straight shot from the alternative surfaces to the roadway. I think primarily that's there to keep you from tracking gravel onto the street. You do have to travel north through the parking lot and exit at their access point that's at the north end of the site. So while they don't meet the exact letter of the code, they would be meeting the intent of it in that there would be probably 250 feet worth of travel for them to get out onto the roadway. So those are the requests that are before you. The Planning and Zoning Commission did hold their public hearing on June 5th and recommended approval with conditions and adoption of the findings of fact. We do have conditions for the alternative surfaces that we have typically used in the past, so we have included those conditions in here as well. That includes the posting of the nuisance deposit for any dust control or anything that would have to happen if there were any issues with the area and they were not maintaining it. So you have their recommendation before you and first reading of the ordinance, and the petitioner is here to answer any questions that you have.
Okay. Any questions for Director Abt or the petitioner? I have one regarding the alternative surface. I think in another area of the village, we did not allow vehicles, meaning the trucks and the trailers, to be parked on that. Is that because of coming out across that then onto the street? Is that why? I
I'm
want to
gonna
say it
be
was on Lake
honest.
Street.
I think in that instance, it was a very large area of gravel as opposed to a small area of gravel, so all of the trucks would be in that kind of area. So I think the board wasn't necessarily looking for that to expand because it had been an existing condition, and so that is why the board voted against that. So they did end up paving that particular area.
Okay.
And for some reason in my mind, I think it also had to do with, like, the trucks leak things, oil,
Right.
hydraulic fluid and stuff. There's no surface to stop it if it's just gravel.
Right,
It
and
would-
that's what I was initially
that's-
thinking, is that was why we didn't want trucks on there. But because this will also have pavement between the gravel and where they go out onto the street, that's the difference from what we did previously.
That's partially the difference, yes.
Okay.
I think that last one was parking lot for semis, where this isn't even big enough for semis.
Okay. All right, do I have a motion to accept the recommendation of the Plan Commission?
So moved.
Second.
Take the roll, please.
Trustee Marisak.
Yes.
Trustee Brzoska.
Yes.
Trustee Guyer. Trustee Spurling. Trustee Youngerman.
Yes.
Is there any objection to put this one on consent at the next meeting? Okay, we're good to put this one on consent. Next, nothing, no items for discussion. Next up, we have new or unfinished business. Start on my right tonight. Trustee Guyer, anything?
Nothing.
Trustee Brzoska?
The HPC walk was a success. I think we had about 30 people. It was, yeah, pretty well received. And the only other thing I have is beautification committee floral judging again on the 18th, and I need volunteers.
Okay. Trustee Marisak?
Nothing.
Trustee Youngerman?
Am I last? Because I always,
No, I'll be last, but.
update on the lights.
So on Thursday, we met with the electrician, 2 representatives from P&G and Lighton, and as well as a third-party consultant that came out to go through and verify the concerns that Q-Tran Lighting had, who is the manufacturer of the lights, as far as it relates to the DMX grounding, the shielding ground and drain wire. So they came out, performed their inspection. We actually turned on the lights, performed some tests, hooked up some different fixtures to the decoders to kind of do a process of elimination to make sure that there aren't other items that could be an issue. From that, the third-party consultant drafted a report that was shared with myself and representatives from PG and Lighton, and those are now being sent over to Q-Tran. And P&G and Lighton is working to schedule a meeting with Q-Tran in order to come up with their remedy and their fix overall. So I did advise the representatives from P&G and Lighton about the reminder of the letter that was sent out. they acknowledged that they have received that, and they are aware of the date. And so we'll see moving forward. Hopefully, I get an update this week that I can share with you.
Okay. Anything else?
No, it just, they have a July 1st deadline.
Correct.
Actually, they have a,
June 30th.
they have a June 30th
30th.
at midnight deadline.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Director Wolf, thank you for looking up my item, my final item, and getting back to us regarding Kane County. Appreciate that. The other item, I just wanted to mention that the Rotary Club of Montgomery had a celebration this past weekend, marking 10 years. And we actually were on an email chain today with the current president, and we're actually going to do a formal resolution at the next meeting. Because that's, excuse me, proclamation, that's actually closer to when we actually chartered. So we will be recognizing them at the next meeting.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. You see the schedule of future meetings. We have no executive session, and I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Youngerman, second by Brazaska. Take the roll, please.
Trustee Youngerman.
Yes.
Trustee Marisak.
Yes.
Trustee Brazaska.
Yes.
Trustee Guyer.
Yes.
Trustee Spurling.
Yes, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
I have duck tickets if anybody wants.